What's up guys, Magic Navs here, and in today's gameplay you're watching some AO Tennis 2 gameplay. This is part 4 I believe, with Nick Kyrgios, or me playing as Nick Kyrgios versus Stefanos Tsitsipas. Shame that just Kyrgios was not able to play Wimbledon this year. He had to back out last minute due to a wrist injury. This is like the third time now that he's had to back out last minute this year due to some kind of injury, which really sucks. He's only played one time this year so far, and he lost in the first round, so that was a bummer. And I'm just really hoping like he'll at least make a stop in Toronto this year, because I'm in Ontario, Canada, so the National Bank Open, it's the men's this year, so I'm hoping he will make a stop again this year, because obviously I wasn't able to watch him last year because it was the ladies, but this year's the men's, so really hope I can if he'll come and he'll play in Toronto this year, so I can watch him and bring my family to go watch him too, so it'll be pretty sick. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, in this commentary video, I'm gonna be talking about the armed security and the job and what to expect. I've done quite a few videos on this topic, or just what I'm currently experiencing right now, so I'm just hoping I can shed some light for people who are thinking about getting into this job, and just give them an idea of what to expect on a typical day. Alright, now I've already gone through like all the training and stuff that's required and what you need to prepare yourself for. Now I just finished my driver training like a week and a half ago, so I'm now qualified enough to at least receive shifts. So as far as the driver training goes, you just have to do 5 days straight of just driving. You will have somebody in the passenger seat with you, just to kind of get you used to the idea of what a typical day is like, right? You may not be driving the very first day, like on Monday. It really comes down to who's instructing you. But then after that, like, from the second day onwards, they'll let you get behind the wheel, get comfortable with the truck. That is if you haven't already gotten behind the wheel at least a couple times when you were doing your initial training. So this is like now like on-job training, or OJT as you might call it. So when you're doing these shifts, right, like you'll have to go, like, after you check in, get your gun and everything, you'll have to grab your stuff, like, or equipment, keys for the truck, your transponders, and as well as just like you'll get a sheet from the place where you actually pick up that stuff, to like get all the layout of the stops that you'll be making, right? Like when you do start getting shifts, you'll obviously be assigned specific routes that you'll have to do for that day, right, if you are going out on the road. So yeah, you'll just whatever they give you, right, depending on which stores may close earlier that day, you'll want to try to adjust certain destinations or stops, right, just so you can at least get that off the list, right? Because depending on traffic and where you're going to be going, there's obviously certain routes that it's just smarter to take right then and there now, rather than like later, right? So because you're already in that area or vicinity, so just try to keep that into consideration when you're so apart from that, when you go in the morning, typically, like, when you schedule yourself in for shifts, there'll be like a paper like on the little like pegboard or such that you can check off when you'd be available and such. So you can choose either like AM for the morning shift, or PM for like the evening or night shifts. just depending on what you are comfortable with. And yeah, that's the one thing too to keep in mind when you come in. And if you're just driver right now, because right now I'm only driver qualified, I'm not messenger qualified. Maybe or maybe not, I'll consider doing messenger training if I really need the extra shifts. But if you only need like 1 or 2 shifts a week, then just driver training will provide you that for the most part. So yeah, don't feel like you have to rush to get every single qualification needed. So you can take your time with it, or just not bother really, just depending on how much money you need and how much you care. So yeah, but one thing, just like when you come into the morning, you'll have to, just like while I was in the military, you have to do like a quick vehicle inspection, just make sure everything's good. And then once you've done that, just check yourself in, right? Like, you'll have a little thing to like keep track of your driving hours. That way they know that you're actually on the road and stuff like that. And yeah, one thing's to note too is just, depending on who you're working with. I'm just doing part-time right now, obviously. I really don't know, or I don't think I would make this a full-time thing, just because full-time does mean like I won't have any flexibility in my schedule right now, especially since I am doing multiple jobs. So that's one thing, is if you have multiple jobs that you're doing alongside with this, just do your best to plan accordingly, right? And on top of that, try not to plan anything. If you're planning to work on a specific day, try to avoid planning anything after it, because even though they say it's a 9 to 5 job or shift, you are always going to be doing overtime more times than not. And at least with the routes that I've done so far, the average amount of overtime hours you're doing is like 2 hours. So instead of a 9 to 5, it's like 9 to 7 on average. And sometimes they might ask you if you're able to do an extra few overtime hours just to help park some trucks and stuff like that. So that is something that you should keep in mind, is that if you want to plan something in the evening on a particular day, don't schedule yourself available to work that day. Or if anything, just don't plan anything that particular evening, because you don't know when you're going to be done that day. Some people are super unlucky. They end up doing even 12 or 13 hour shifts, unfortunately. Like this job, like one of the big things you have to watch out for is that there'll be long hours. You're going to be doing long hours with this kind of job, but in the end, it's more money, right? Like if you break it down in the end, like this is good paying money, like through this job. So that's why I end up choosing it, especially given my background with, firearms and my love of driving, or just enjoyment of driving. So if you're cool with those things, that's really what you should be expecting. And when you're trying to get into this job, and once you actually get into doing shifts and whatnot. So on top of that, guys, just sometimes if you're driving, or other times you're just a floater. I haven't done it yet, but like if you're a floater, they're just labeled as a guard, so you'll just be chilling at the base, and you can be on your phone in the cafeteria or whatever, just chilling. And then just only when they ask you like, hey, so and so is sick or couldn't make it in today, we're going to need you to be the driver for this particular route and such, right? So in that case, then you get to actually do something and such. Or sometimes maybe they'll even just tell you to, like, you'll be on helping to load stuff or move stuff, like just sometimes small things, right, just to keep you busy or have you be helpful with something, right? It will depend on what your qualifications. Obviously, if you're not qualified to operate a forklift or something like that, then they're not going to make you do that. Or if they try to make you do that, make sure you tell them like, hey, I can't do this, right, or something like that. I don't know exactly, because I haven't been in that situation yet, but that is something that they might get you to do, just to, like, especially if there's contractors or something doing construction on the base, you might just be kind of standing around, just making sure they're keeping them in check, they're not doing anything fishy or whatever. And yeah, so, and then sometimes if you're just chilling there and they really don't need you, then sometimes you will get lucky. They'll let you off early and yeah, you can go home, you're good for today, right? So that can happen, so keep that in mind. So yeah, those are so far pretty much all the things that you can expect once you are fully qualified enough to start taking shifts, and just the job in general, right? Most important thing, guys, if you have something that you wish to do in the evening, don't schedule yourself available for that day, or just forget about it. Just put all your focus on work for that particular day, right? And because you're just gonna be really tired, you're barely gonna have energy to, let alone time to go and do stuff. Maybe a little bit if it's not like a high intensity activity or whatever, but just know that you're probably gonna lack the energy to do anything afterwards. So just because you have to wake up super early for your morning shifts and stuff like that. So that's that, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comments below. If you have questions, let me know as well. But hopefully this was helpful on some level. I'll definitely bring more videos about this line of work if you are so interested. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you guys in my future videos. Until next time, peace out, guys.